Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 266. Today, I want to talk about the money and the status game. I was listening to a recent podcast where this fellow was explaining how the money and the status game has affected him and his family. He was from a Vietnamese refugee family who moved to Australia. And ultimately, his father and some of his brothers of his father did very well financially, ran businesses in Australia. And this young man who was being interviewed, he's in his mid 30s and has been a very successful communication coach and became a keynote speaker. He ultimately moved from Australia to the United States and did very well financially, making lots of money, running his business, traveling around the world, giving keynote speakers, speeches, and coaching people, running, workshops, etc. And then he got a message from his parents that they wanted to tell him something. And it is the fact that they're giving up all their businesses and all their money and becoming Buddhist monks. And they apparently have a plot of land in Australia with some facilities, nothing fancy, but where they have a retreat for other Vietnamese families and some of them who suffered from PTSD from the Vietnam War, etc. And their parents are extremely happy compared to the rat race they were in, where when somebody bought a bigger house, they bought a bigger house. When somebody had a fancier car, they bought a fancier car, keeping up with the Joneses. They'd bought into the money and the status game, and they've given that up and now are Buddhist monks. And this made him think as well. He was doing well in the States. Well, he's moved back to Australia, still running his business, but spending more time with his family. He's got a young son who suffers from autism, etc. And he's now been able to work with his son and help his son a lot. And this, talking about money and the status game, resonated with me because when I moved back from Africa and spent 23 years in Toronto, I said, this is a rat race. People are, it's the house you live in, the car you drive, how much money is in your bank account. Said, this is crazy. So I, fortunate enough, was able to move to Victoria on Vancouver Island on the West Coast, where it isn't a rat race. It's more community oriented. So I thought, this is resonated with me and it might resonate with some of you. So I want to explain some sources that you might find of interest where you can look up, how to avoid the rat race. And this is a game a madcap game of social climbing where, you run your own business and you join the yacht club and you throw wild parties to impress your new friends and you make, a fortune on the races and you go up in the high society. But ultimately you might lose all your money in this game anyway for all the taxes that you owe, etc. And this lady, uh, or this picture of this lady says, real wealth is not about money. It's about not having to go to meetings and spend time with jerks and being, locked into status games and, feeling you have to say yes and, you know, sh- or not worrying about others claiming your time and energy. Real wealth is about freedom. And money can help you achieve these things, but there are plenty of people who make lots of money and yet aren't free. And also, I found this fellow who posted a couple things. Thomas said, most people want status like promotion and money and more stuff, TVs, cars, houses, etc. And few people seek freedom, freedom of time to think and 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 wealth. If they have wealth to buy time, they get other people to do things maybe, and love of family and friends instead of playing stupid games and stupid prizes. And he also posted that money is a conduit for freedom of your time, nothing more. Don't get obsessed with money, get obsessed with freedom. And as a nomad, I think that's something that has really resonated with me. And when I was doing some check, it was Naval Ravikant, who you may have heard of. He actually has been interviewed by Tim Ferriss and is in the book Tools of Titans. And he said, seek wealth, which is not money or status. It's life and what life can offer you. So with that, think that let's not get involved in that money and status game. Just get some freedom with our time. And as a nomad, I think I'm very fortunate. So with that, I want to say, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter and freedom. And bye for now until next time from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.